Hello everyone, my name is Mordecai and welcome back. This week I would like to cover the wall pusher traps, mainly because I was looking at my analytics on the YouTube channel and there was two videos in particular that did very well. One of them was the kind of the husk pathing video that I did, and then the other one was actually the video I did regarding the day and night cycle so people would know more about hunter's instinct. So kind of building off of those two type of videos and still trying to help new players, I decided I would focus on not really so much a trap tunnel, but ways in which you can use the terrain to help you fight the husks rather than just straight up killing them. I probably will do a little killing with some traps, but the idea is to show you the wall pushers can be used quite effectively actually in helping you stall and honestly do almost like a recycle type trap, if you want to call it that. But I don't know if it's going to be an actual recycle type build. It's going to be more, again, focusing on what the wall trap can do for you in terms of stalling the husk and helping you better manage the large horde that usually comes at you. So with all that out of the way, let's get started. Alright guys, this is a 4-player power level 70 mission in Canny Valley. This one is the Ride the Lightning type mission. So the idea is that we want to build some sort of trap tunnel that's going to stall or at least keep pushing the husk back long enough for us to deal with them. So much like the husk pathing video, it's going to run down here and you can see all the purple swirls, which means they are definitely going to be spawning from down here and a couple on that hillside. And really the only way for them to get to the objective is to run up this hill and then make an immediate left and bam, they're at the objective. And just to make sure I'm not telling you wrong, let me run over here. Okay, yeah. So the only real way for them to get up there fast based on their spawn point is to go up that ramp into the objective. Obviously there is one small cloud on that little cliffside behind me, so we will have to deal with that too. Alright, on this side you got the all of the swirls here, and the fastest path that I can see is to run this path right here, make a right, and then make an immediate left, and they are at the objective. So this one might be a little tricky. Actually, no, I think the other side might be more tricky. Just to be sure, they can't get up on this side, and in case... Yeah. So they're going to want to come down there, up this ramp here. Okay, yeah. And then the same with this side. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to build two quick stall type builds. Nothing like really fancy. It's just to kind of show you what the wall launchers can do. So when I come back, I'll have it set up and I'll kind of escort you through it. Alright guys, we're back. As you can see, it's nothing really fancy that I've got built here. I did kind of a basic brick structure. Didn't really close in the top because I don't think I'm going to have any lobbers on this, although usually one or your two waves usually has some sort of lobber and flingers. Usually, keyword there, not always. But here we go. We're going to start with this trap tunnel side over here. I put up a basic wall with stairs behind it here. There we go. You can see that it's kind of blocking them, similar to what we did with the husk pathing video, to show you that they're not going to want to bust through that. It's going to be too much of a pain, so they're going to try the easiest way that they know how to, and that's just goes through that open path. So you got that swirl there, and this group is going to come up this ramp and immediately have to come in over here because I got stairs in this wall. The idea is that this wall launcher will push them back out the opening. It's kind of hard with the angle of it. I have gas traps in here too to kind of do some damage and to kind of keep recycling them out. I had to put like a slight arch. The idea is that it'll angle the husk back in, that they'll hit those wall launchers and push them out. If they do make it all the way through, the theory, which normally you would want to do this more on a cliff side, but the theory is that it'll push them off that cliff there to my left. And then I put this small grouping right here for any husks that make it through this side. So that side's going to try to push them off the edge. This side, I have what I call a recycle wall launcher there, and these two will then launch them back off the cliff here behind me. Some of the open slots you can see, I really didn't fill in everything. Again, this was more of a tutorial to show you just what the wall launchers can do. And in both, you could see I put down wall spikes to kind of slow them down to give the wall launchers time to reload and relaunch them back out. Following the same thing we just did prior to the video. Oh, hang on, not prior to the video. Let me get rid of these dudes. There we go. Every video I seem to make with these, I always get interrupted in some way. So, the wall launchers, as I was explaining before I got rudely interrupted there, when these husks go up this ramp, the idea is that the first launcher they hit, much like the other one, will launch them back down. I just hope they don't hit that small brick wall. I put that there to try to angle them around it to get them closer to the launcher. If they do make it, much like the other one, these launchers will either push them all the way back or it'll push them all the way off the edge. So what I'm going to try to do is run around to both so you can see this thing in action. So I'm going to go ahead and start it up, because usually I'm a visual learner. If I see it, I better understand it. So we're going to start it up, and maybe this will help you understand it. This is not, again, this is not the most efficient build by any means. In fact, this is probably one of the worst ones I've done, as much as I hate to say that. Ooh, I probably should have put more traps over there, and unfortunately I do have lobbers. Hopefully there's not a ton of them. But you can see here, they get up there. The wall launcher should push them off. I don't know if it's strong enough. Oh, just shy. You'll see they'll keep walking. They'll get launched. If you're next to a cliff, that will obviously launch them all the way off. So again, these wall launchers to me tend to do better near cliffs because that's where they excel. Similar to this. Here we go. See if these guys get launched off. They gotta wait for the reload though. Yep, there they go. You can see how far over they went. When they get hit by that, it's much easier, and you can see the wall launcher push that smasher all the way back. Your wall launchers may not do that yet. Keep in mind, as you're leveling them up, they have to get a higher impact. There is an impact threshold I should probably tell you guys about now. So when, or rather like a stun threshold, when that stun threshold is broken, they will either A, be stunned, or B, be knocked backwards. So my wall launchers are fully perked, and I will show that at the end of this video. That's the idea, is that that's such a high impact that it doesn't matter the target, it will launch them. So that's why you see these smashers getting knocked all the way off the ledge and having to recycle and rewalk all the way back up. So far, none's actually made it through this one. This side I was more concerned about because this actually breaks the rule that I told you guys you should follow in making the husk path in a very linear fashion to your objective. I tried to steer them kind of at an angle away and then back to it. And that's why you sometimes see them stopping and actually hitting the wall. You know what? We're going to put down a floor launcher too. I think I'm going to make one. And then where they keep landing right here, I'm going to put up a wall. And then I'm going to put up a little pyramid as a like a roof to launch them back up. So the idea is they'll hit that, get launched up, hit the arc, and fly them back off. So there's many ways to skin a cat. I'm sure many of you have heard that saying. So if your first plan doesn't work, adapt right in the middle of battle. If it's not working, quickly come up with something else, or you may get overrun. And this happens even in the higher levels. You can try to have the best trap tunnels, and something could go horribly wrong. Somebody could accidentally set off propane or what have you. I mean, it does happen. No matter of fact, any game I've been in where it feels like nothing can go wrong, that's usually the worst ones. But yeah, this is kind of an educational thing. Again, this is not meant to be like the best trap tunnel, because obviously it's not. It was just to showcase what the wall pushers can do, because all my gas traps are doing is putting a damage over time on them, and then I'm just launching them back off the edge. So it's kind of one of those, just let the gas traps and the wall pushers do their work, and I don't really have to fire a whole lot. The only time I've had to is when they've managed to make it through this side over here, which is more from this little small pool I had, which I really should have put more here, but again, I really wasn't focused on that side. It was more to show you what the wall pushers could do. I do hope this was helpful. Again, when I end this segment, I'm going to cut over and show you how I have mine perked. And this is what I mean right here. When the wall launcher would push, or not wall launcher, floor launcher would push them up, it would hit that angle and launch them the rest of the way over. But there you go, guys. That's what you can do with wall launchers. Really, you can use your imagination in them. You can do just about whatever you want. They're a perfect stall tactic. You should really look into them. So, all right, I'm going to cut over, and I'm going to show you the perks I've got on. All right, guys, as promised, I'm going to come in here and show you my floor launcher and my wall launcher. If I'm not mistaken, I have them both perked exactly the same because I like to have a consistency in whether my traps work. So yeah, you got the wall launcher. I do have 15% impact and knockback. I've got the reload at 42%, another 15% impact and knockback, again reload, and then again with the impact and knockback. And my last one, this is really totally up to you. I like the heals attached building because then that means if I'm away and they are taking damage, the trap will automatically repair the wall that it's attached to. And again, if I'm not mistaken, my floor launcher, yes, I do have it perked the exact same way, as you can see here. And if I'm not mistaken, the stats on both the floor launcher and the wall launcher together, meaning even if you had them perked with nothing, the stats of them are exactly the same, because I mean, it's basically the exact same trap, just one does it from the floor, obviously, and then one does it from the wall. So that's kind of why I like the idea of perking my two this exact same way. Now, Frost Knight, I think most of you had what I call the meme launcher. You had them all perked out for impact. And let's see, 1 second, 4.3. Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, yep, I was right. So the stats are the same. So that's what you got there. But yeah, you could have what I called the meme launcher, where everything had the high impact and you want to launch them in the air to kill them from the drop. But this to me is a little bit more of a solid build. So if you want to use this, you can. And I guess I'll cut over and do the end sequence. Alright guys, I hope the video was helpful. I'm trying to think of things that will, again, help the newer players that maybe haven't used certain traps or done certain builds or things like that. I'm going to keep trying to think of these type of things, because I hate to say this, but I've been playing the game so long now that a lot of this feels second nature. And in my head, I'm thinking, people know this, but even when I go to help out some of the newer players, I'm honestly still surprised sometimes, and it's not their fault. Again, the game really doesn't teach you the best way to do things in the game, and that's kind of where us as a community need to come together and help each other. I also do hear some of the higher level players constantly complaining that some of the newer high level players that are making their way up there don't know what they're doing, and my counter response is don't hate, educate. If you don't like what you're seeing, try to help them learn, because they may just not know what the proper way to do it is. And I'm not saying my way is proper either. I'm just trying to give you some information, like I say in all my videos, and you do with it what you will. Again, I hope this was helpful. I'm going to try to think of maybe another way, or maybe some other simple trap builds that maybe help you guys in the future. Maybe do different mission types so you can see them. Heck, I may even pick a random SSD to help somebody with. I may try to help somebody in Twine, and maybe do a whole run so you can see somebody else's build and maybe get some ideas. Now, that type of video will be much, much longer, but maybe it'll help. So I'm going to cut out, and as always, I'll see you next Saturday. I always upload on Saturday. I'm always try to keep that type of schedule going. So if you're here, I hope you're entertained. I hope I'm being helpful. So I'll see you next week.